What's up YouTube, it's Louis here. I hope you're all well. Today we'll be looking at Bitcoin on the daily time frame, and what a crazy bounce after meeting our first target at 16k. I was always warning that if we were to ever see consecutive daily closes below 18.6k and 18.1k, the bottom is not in. We were wrong. We did not hold the higher low. So the only reason we lost this higher low is because of what's going on with the FTX situation. Then yesterday we had Binance finally saying that they're not looking to acquire FTX. And this was like a final nail in the coffin essentially. And that's why we did dump. And you can see the daily close down here below the 1618 target. Usually when you meet the 1618 target, you do have a bounce, but it's far from over, guys. You need to understand that all you're doing with this bounce is actually retesting previous support as resistance. This is the big risk at the moment, although it's pumping and everyone's making amazing gains. Look, 11% up, but don't forget how far we have dipped already. Let's see, to current price, a 13% dump yesterday, total 22%. So an amazing 12% almost recovery today. But again, guys, unless we're reclaiming 18.6k, then it's technically not bullish. It's an amazing first step to get above 17.6. We need to see a daily candle close above that, but we need to see a path that would to do something like this where we eventually hold. Oh, sorry, you need to confirm this as support first. I don't know. Eventually holding this as support. I don't know how it's going to pan out, but if you want this to flip bullish, you need to reclaim this higher low, which should never have been lost. It would not have been lost if it weren't for of course, the current situation. As I showed you in yesterday's update, that before that specific candle, before the event, you can see we had a bullish cross that was just formed about 4 or 5 days prior, and back tested as support, seeing higher highs and higher lows, of course. And then one candle later, and 2 candles later, we're all the way back down at the bottom. Let's just get rid of this now. So without this event, we would have actually been heading to what we needed to do is hold 19.6k essentially. And if we didn't, we said we were coming back down, which is what we saw. So really, I told you guys that if we were to lose 19.6k, this was a fake out. And the likelier move is for a loss of the low. This was all on Twitter. I made you guys aware of it yesterday as well in yesterday's update. There was a lot of people tuning in, so well done for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the channel. Please do remember to like, subscribe and comment and we'll continue with this video. So yeah, amazing pump right now, 12% at the moment, but we need to see a daily candle close above this. That would signal a pump. You see at the moment we're above 17.6k, so we need to react to this before the daily candle close. I wouldn't be surprised if this closes below, but if it does close above, then yeah, and as we are above at the moment, your next target would be 18.1k to be reclaimed. If you can then confirm that support, it's all about 18.6k, guys, to be honest, because that was the higher low. We should have never lost it. You've now made a lower low. So any high that you make, technically, it should just really be a lower high unless you're breaking above 21.5k. So the only time that I'm going to potentially look for safe buying is above 21.5k. So, well, of course, now, if we're looking for, a few years into the future, it's amazing buys, of course, always DCA, of course, especially when we're capitulating. However, I'm not so certain that we're going up until we're above this gold box again, because this is where we got rejected. It was an expected rejection though. We just did not expect for this to not hold. But we were always prepared. If we lose this, we're going to 18.6k. That would mean that this move above 19.6k, which was the 2017 high, as well as this bullish cross, is essentially a bull trap, and so that would bring a more likely loss of the low, which we're now seeing with targets at 16,000, where one has been met, that the first target been met, but also 14,000 is also the 2 targets, but also this shoulder, head and shoulders pattern. Please guys, I do urge you to all follow my Twitter. I've been posting all night and all day today. I've just been able to have time to myself now because I've been on Twitter all day, yeah, and now I'm making the video for you guys, but I'll literally be back on there straight after the videos for further updates during the day. If anything changes, I need to keep you guys kept up to date in these moments. This is the most key time in crypto right now. I need to be completely on job. and yeah, make big decisions at the moment. So if this is flipped into resistance, we know we're going to get this continuation to these lower two targets. What I would always say with the fibs over here, we're using this fib retracement at the moment because this was the most recent pump and this was the lowest point before that most recent pump, and that pump was into this golden pocket which we failed to get above. So remember guys, if we get above the golden pocket, you create the reversal wave. But what should happen is this push, exhaust, continuation. What we need to see to invalidate this, which is of course what we've now seen, is to hold here. And without this FTX nonsense, that this scenario wouldn't have happened. We would have held 19.6k as support and attacked this one more time, potentially creating this reversal wave, continuing to the head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders patterns target, shoulder, head, shoulder, which we already had validated and confirmed with the confirmed breakout, higher lows, and of course the bullish cross. With this event, you've actually slung that back over and now it's formed a bearish cross. So until you're getting above that bearish cross, which is actually at 19.6k, then it's telling you, yeah, expected downside. You're just going to run into these as resistance. We're far away from them. We need to run into them. If you get back above the EMAs like that, amazing, we're going up. But this is another key resistance. Get above this and we're going up. But if we're not seeing a reclaim of 18.6k or 19.6k, we're not going up, guys, because this was a brick wall. Can you see this green box that we had on the chart for such a long time, between 18.6 and 19.6? This was essentially what was holding us bullish. If you have been following the channel all the way since the beginning of the year, back over here when the Luna dump happened, guys, remember Luna? Do you remember that? Actually, let's go check Luna real quick. Let's see how that's doing. There you go. That's what you're going to see for FTT. So going back to here, let's see where the capitulation started from here around the 5th of May, 6th of May. So if we go back to Bitcoin, this one, 5th, 6th of May, here we go right there. Look at the capitulation. So we're at 40,000. Remember, I sold once we lost 40,000, and you can see with the Luna collapse on the specific date, Bitcoin was running back into that as resistance. And so because you couldn't hold back above it, the most important area in this case is over here. So the collapse happened, begun of Luna, not of Bitcoin, but because of what happened, it damaged the image of crypto, because it was one of the top 10 cryptos at the time. It was one of the only coins going up while everything was going down, or that it was moving more than the most coins. Like it looked like it was leading essentially. But I was constantly telling people back here once we had this higher low in February, March, as we were coming down, or as we were up here, I said, yeah, it was actually up here because we had an M pattern, I remember. So if you do remember, leave a comment, because this was a long time ago. But essentially we were saying if we ever lost this higher low where the build-up of bodies are, it's pretty much confirmed that we're going to lose this low. Because there's a larger build-up of bodies in this area, in this green box, we have support here, here, and a little bit here, but couldn't reclaim this resistance to break that high by losing the higher low, because this was a higher low. This is why we saw this higher high. But I remember specifically telling everyone over here, do not buy, because we made this lower low. Can you see this was our higher low back here? And I told everyone I'm selling now because we lost that lower low. We did go up in the short term, but can you see, even though we're going up now, can you see back here? Because you made that lower low, it resulted eventually in a lower high. And if you ever lose this, we're definitely going to lose the low. So essentially that was 18.6k. We have that higher low over here. This is our lowest point, but we have a larger build-up of bodies in 18.6k, or this green box like we just drew over here. And because you've lost that, unless you're reclaiming this green box over here, we didn't. So right here, we need to reclaim this green box. If you don't reclaim this green box, then we're not going up. We're going to expect this continuation downwards. Also guys, if you do want me to teach you this, I do offer a course and one-to-one mentorship. The course by itself is 50% off. Of course, that discount is applied if you get the package with the one-to-one mentorship. So that is all over on my Twitter. Again, please do follow my Twitter, because that is where I'll be doing constant updates, as I was today and yesterday and the day before, throughout the day and night. So yeah, go over to my Twitter, Louis_crypto. That is where you can message me. We have a further target 14k out of the head and shoulders, but also the 10k in descending triangle target. At any moment, you can invalidate further downsides. So because we met one target already, again, if we were to reclaim the 2017 high and break above 21.5k, break above 22.7k, then we're off. But it needs to do all of that. Do you understand that, guys? It needs to do this, and then eventually you need to eventually get above this, and that's when BTC is safe. Probably when you get up here, you're probably going to crash again. But eventually, once you're holding this gold box as support around 22, let's just say 23k, then Bitcoin is good. Until then, there's no bullish. Well, apart from today, obviously going up, we don't even know the daily close. Remember, wait for today's daily candle close. If it's below 17.6k, expect this continuation downwards. Otherwise, if we close above 17.6k, it's going to give us this short-term further burst. And if we were to ever reclaim this 2017 high, 19.6k, it's going to give us another pump to this gold box. And if you eventually get above, let's just say 23k, it is actually on dot 22.75k. If we're seeing daily candle closes above that, holding it as support with the daily candle closes, or waiting for a weekly candle close above it, then yes, we're going up again. But unfortunately, guys, because we made this a lower low over here, I'm not expecting a higher high above this high. So anytime we come up now, because you lost such a key support, even if we pump into 18.6k, 19.6k, or even if we tap 20k, it's a psychological level right there. Even if we tap 20k, is expected to eventually just dump, or you could potentially make a double bottom. But the expectation is this is a lower high, lower than this high, we should go lower. I can get you some more fib targets to the downside, which will give more confidence at lower price targets. So we have the two targets at 14k, that's just the fibs. Then the head and shoulders patterns target is 14k over here. We got this target from the highest point back to the neckline, 18.6k, close below 18.6k, you validate 14k. You can see that's essentially what's been going on, because ever since we closed below 18.6k, we've been heading towards this. We just got to the first stop, the 1618 here. I'm going to put on a larger fibs, and you're going to see it's quite interesting. So at the 1618, can you see we went slightly below it? If I were to just get rid of that for a second, and I've got this new fibs from the bottom to the highest point after that, we can see we were holding the 786, which was around 18.6k. So yeah, this is, as long as we're holding above this, chances are we could actually go up. But we ran into this golden pocket, which I drew out for you, measuring from this move, this top, to the lowest point here. You've had a massive impulse down, so you need to retrace, and we retraced into the golden pocket for the expected continuation. The bullish cross was saying that we're pumping into this. Now, and I was telling you guys, even if you are bullish, we need to come back and hold 19.6k. If we can do so, or 20k, nice round psychological number. If we can do so, chances are we're going to try and attack this again. But because of the events, it didn't hold support here. And as I warned, I said if it doesn't hold support, as we look at both scenarios always, so if it doesn't hold a support, we're heading to 18.6k with a much larger potential of losing the low. That was on Twitter, and it was in the YouTube video yesterday. So yeah, looking at the larger targets, the fib targets over here, what was interesting is that we have the 1.272 here at 15,950, and that's pretty much where we got our bounce from. So that is potentially why we went a little bit lower than the 1618 over here. What is interesting is that the actual 1618 of this, the larger fib, is at 14k. So technically, if you reclaim the one fib level, 17,600 with the daily candle close, we should expect this impulse into this green box, which is essentially what we just said, but I'm just showing you this through the fibs. We didn't need the fibs to know this. As we said, if we reclaim this level, we're going to head into this green box. If we reclaim this green box, we're going to the gold box, and the fibs are essentially telling us this as well. So if you reclaim the one fib level with the daily candle close, expect us to run into this green box. But remember, guys, because this is now a lower low, us running into this green box could just be a lower high, as we just drew out, essentially like this, where we could eventually continue lower. This is another area, as you see here, the small 1618 is bringing a reaction. So 14k is going to be a local bottom in that sense, because we're seeing this. And anyway, when we're looking at the Fibonacci's, these are the fib rules. It's once you hit one of these targets, you get this relief rally. We're actually seeing it off the 1.272 at the moment. So yeah, daily candle close below, above that, would signal a move upwards but it could just be corrective to continue down. Also, if we fail to, of course, see the daily candle close above this, that's when we just are going to continue to 14k anyway. So again, this can be a local bottom because there's so many reasonings for this target. There's 3 reasonings over here for this specific target. So at the moment we're correcting up. What should be expected is continuation down. You could even use fibs to measure from here to here. You're going to have a golden pocket in some sort of area over here. So that's a brick wall. What should happen is another push down. But if you reclaim it, that is a bullish sign. So that's why I'm telling you guys, if we do reclaim the 2017 high, this is actually good for crypto, for Bitcoin. But again, I'm not too convinced until you're breaking above these highs over here. Once you're above them, then I'm convinced, okay? Until then, I'm not convinced whatsoever. Everything that's going up, I just believe is eventually going to roll over. I hope that was so clear for you guys today. And of course, if this local bottom doesn't actually push us back above these levels like this to send us like that, and if we're just running into these areas as resistance, whether it's the green box or the orange or the purple, that's how you continue down lower to 10k. And remember those people that were talking about 3k when we first came down here. It doesn't even sound off, but everything step by step. Nothing is confirmed. We need to wait for the weekly close, guys. Remember, if we see the daily, or let's just say the weekly, if we see the weekly reclaim of this, then it's as if nothing happened. So yeah, that's why but as a first step, you see this reclaimed on the weeklies as if nothing happened, but on the daily time frame you do have lower lows. So if we were just focused on the daily time frame, that would still be a corrective move up to continue. That's what should happen. That's what should happen. This can happen from this green if we're reclaiming the pink, remember, today with the daily close. But if we're not even reclaiming the pink today with the daily candle close, you just expect that continuation. Again, any move that reclaims the 2017 high at 19.6k, you should expect another further move up towards 21.5 to 22.7. And if we're ever above 22.7, that's when I'm convinced, yeah, we're safe again. Until then, any of these pushes upwards could just be corrective moves, okay, to the upside, which means that eventually you should continue lower with all the targets already given in today's update. Thank you guys so much. Please do share this. I know this was the longest of videos, but it had to be, clear and precise for you guys. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, and comment.